The intention of a warm-up is to get the athlete prepared for their session, right? So you want to start to build up their heart rate. You want to start to activate and mobilize the areas that they're going to be focused on. You want to get their body prepared for what it is that they're going to be doing in the session, whatever type session it is. The athlete should be continuously moving. They shouldn't be waiting around. There shouldn't be any breaks. It should be 6 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes of continuous movement where their heart rate is progressively getting higher in preparation for whatever high intensity work they're going to be doing. Well, the first thing is you want to be focusing on increasing the athlete's heart rate, right? When they're starting from a dead stop heart rate, when they're starting from a resting heart rate, you slowly want to acclimatize them to a higher heart rate so that when they get into the high intensity portion or the circuit portion of the workout, it's not shocking the body dramatically, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is you want to start mobilizing the areas. You want to mobilize the full body, but you want to start activating and mobilizing the specific areas that you are going to be focusing on, right? And the third thing is you want to start communicating the intention of the workout, and you want to start communicating the intention of the warm-up in relation to the workout. And if you do that, you're getting the athlete prepared for the session, not only physically, but also mentally. I think the most important thing when building a warm-up with regards to exercise selection is you want to be reverse engineering from the actual workout, right? So from that the high intensity circuits or the strength circuits that you've programmed, you want to be reverse engineering and figuring out what muscles are going to be the ones that are the most active during this workout and how can I start activating them, right? That's one thing which is key. The other thing is you want the athletes moving for the 4 to 6 minutes continuously. So you don't want to start introducing complex movements. You want the movements to be easy to explain and movements that athletes will almost immediately and inherently know what to do, right? So a good example of that is combinations of jogging followed by butt kickers followed by high knees. That's a slight progression of the same type of exercise. Or jumping jacks followed by cross jacks followed by squat jacks, right? Those are easy to understand because the athlete's already moving in that same sort of movement pattern, and so that progression is just natural. And obviously you can vary these up. There's other movements that are just as good for the warm-up, but you don't want it to be something which is complex so that an athlete has to look at the screen and watch the demo for 15 or 20 seconds where they're not moving. Well, I think that from a warm-up perspective, you're trying to build the athlete's heart rate up, but you're not trying to get their heart to explode in the warm-up, right? So I think that avoiding aggressive plyometric movements, that doesn't mean that you can't have an athlete hopping, but you're trying to you don't want to get them into like aggressive squat jumps or fast burpees or anything like that. That's not to say that you can't include burpees in a warm-up, but you just need to communicate what the intent is to the athlete. So you can do a burpee very slowly and it'll slowly build the heart rate up, and you get deep into the squat before stepping or jumping the feet back. There's ways to do it, but I would say that if you can avoid those and stay a little bit softer with the movement, then it's going to be less shocking on the body, and your body will slowly acclimatize so that when you do introduce high intensity exercises or more plyometric exercises, the body will be ready for it. Well, the thing about a warm-up is if you have athletes that are moving in positions where they can see the screen, you can demonstrate the next exercise while they are doing the current exercise. So a perfect example of this is, let's say you're doing a combination where athletes are going to be doing butt kickers, and those butt kickers are going to be followed by inchworms. It's very easy to tell the athlete, all right, keep on doing those butt kickers. I'm going to show you the demo of the inchworm, and this is what I want you to focus on during the inchworm. And so you don't actually have to go from butt kickers to a break where you demonstrate the next exercise, and then after demonstrating the next exercise, the athlete can start. You can actually bunch that all together and transition almost seamlessly because you could demonstrate the exercise while the athlete is looking at the screen doing their butt kickers or doing their jogging in place or their jumping jacks. And that simplifies the flow, and the athlete doesn't stop moving in that case. I always like having a conversation with athletes about the intended focus of the workout of the day. right? So you get them mentally prepared for what they're going to get into, right? And it sort of gets them excited about the workout. It's your opportunity to sort of get them hyped up for what is coming, right? It's your precursor, and you're getting them warmed up, and you're explaining why you're warming up certain areas. So let's say it's a day which is focused on a lot of plyometric work. You're going to be jumping a lot, and you're going to be activating, and working the hip flexors, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Well, this is an opportunity to explain that to them. As you start the warm-up and as you're activating those areas, you can let them know, hey guys, we got a great workout for you today. We're going to be doing a lot of explosive work, which you're going to be using the hip flexors, hamstrings, glutes, and so that's why we're activating this area. And then these are exercises that can be brought to the field if you play sports, or the park when you're chasing around your kids, or whatever the case may be. I guess the biggest recommendation that I would make is make the warm-ups easy, make them simple to understand, make them easy to communicate, and have a very clear understanding of why you're doing exercises in the warm-up and how those exercises relate to the workout. If you do that, it becomes really easy to communicate with the athletes why you're doing certain activation and mobilization and warm-up exercises. And the athletes will have a much better understanding of why they need to focus and pay attention during the workout, because it will have a positive impact on their workout.